Yes. Thank you, sir.
How's everybody doing tonight? This evening. It's super exciting to be here in front of you this morning, or this evening. Look, I'm already messing up. I'm a speaker. I make mistakes. It's really great to be here, mostly because it's funny to me. 2 years ago, I would have told you I'm not a businessman. I would have told you that being in business is about making money, and that's not what I'm about. I'm about service. I would have told you that I didn't have it in my blood to run a business. I'm a politician. That's what I do. I give speeches. I make people feel good. I pass policy. That's all I do. But I didn't realize that I had everything inside of me to be a successful business owner, and even more, that sometimes it's through your entrepreneurship that you make the impact you're supposed to make on the world. So it's a pleasure to be here in my new capacity, embracing my entrepreneurial journey, my entrepreneurial spirit, and sharing that all with you. Now, as I said before, this is an accident. I didn't set out to start a business. I was a guy who really wanted to help people. I went to law school where I got a specialization in public interest law and policy and critical race studies, and I came out to save the world. Simple mission. Save the world, make everything better. Thought I could do it. Started off. I got a job in Oak Park at a nonprofit doing policy at the local level, just out of law school. And that was an interesting experience because it was run by a guy who had an idea, took action, believed in himself, continued to take action, and created something. And that was an interesting experience, being in a place where somebody's dream was coming true. But it wasn't actually my dream. And in fact, it was a kind of terrible work environment. So I went and got another job. And I worked at the National Alliance on Mental Illness as the public policy director, legislation public policy director there. And what I found is that in this capacity, right, that's like the highest you can go. You're the policy director, next thing up is executive director. I'm 1 year out of law school, I already got this job, and I'm thinking to myself, where do I go from here? And I realized very, very soon after getting that position that there was no way I was going to reach my potential in that position. See, the one thing that I had never been able to do throughout law school, passing the bar, being president of UC Davis, I'd never given it 100%. And I can say that a lot of us, we get through life on 75 or 80, maybe 90, and if you're giving it 100%, you're living the great life. But if you're doing 75, even you don't feel good about that, even if you're collecting a check, which I was. And I was feeling good about that, but I said, there's got to be more for me. I need to find something better than this. Something where I can actually become the man that I was born to be. And being able to give 70% and get celebrated, it only feels good for a little while, until you realize that even though you're not cheating them, you're cheating yourself. And so I decided to go on a mission. I said, I've got to find a new path. And at that point, I put myself up for sale because I'll be honest, I've got a lot of law school debt. A lot. And it was weighing on me, working in the nonprofit world. And so I went and I talked to all my mentors. And I said, hey, I'm trying to do something else. What should I do? What do you think I should do? I want to use my legal skills. I want to do something. And they said, well, you can do anything you want. I said, well, I'm a lawyer. But I need to find something that uses these skills. They said, no, you're intelligent. You're a hard worker. You're full of potential. You can do anything that you want. I said, So my past didn't have to define my path forward. I could make a decision at any point to go in a new direction, to do something different, something new. But as luck would have it, I was able to find something that connected me with my passion. So this is the Young Professionals of Color. Is it okay if I talk about people of color?
Yes.
Good. I care about you. I got a specialization in critical race studies, and I wanted to come out and be #1 black activist, attorney, save the world. I was ready to go. And when I decided to go on this new path, I was looking for a job. And in the job announcements was an announcement for a position. And the position was legislative representative for the California Public Defenders Association. But it wasn't a job, it was a contract. And so I said, a contract. Maybe they'll pick me. So I talked to another lobbyist who was more experienced about working at his lobbying firm, and he said, if you can get one contract, then maybe we can bring you in. We can't just hire you, you've got to bring in some business. And I said, I've never gotten business before. I'm not a businessman. This is not what I do. But I decided to go for it. So I went out and I applied for this contract. And I was one of many people who interviewed. And when I showed up to the interview, I looked through the window because I could kind of see what was going on. And I saw the back of 3 clearly white heads, and then I saw a table of 12 people, white people all around, and then I was standing outside with my black self, looking in there and saying, okay, I see 3 of them and 12 of them, and then when we switch, it's gonna be just me. So I go in and I do the interview. I come out, and I think there's no way that I just beat those 3 very experienced lobbyists who preceded me. And when I come outside, there's 3 more very experienced lobbyists who are going to follow me. And I said, I'm out of here. No way I'm getting this contract. Then I got a call. The call back. And I said, whoa, they must just need to fill the interview pool. Because if they do that, they bring me back. They say, well, if you talk to him, they give him a chance, we'll send one his way. So in the next interview, same thing happens. 12 of them, 3 other people, my black self, 3 other people, and the interview went down. And at the end of that interview, I actually got a round of applause. Now, I assumed that that was the consolation prize. Oh, good job, young man. Yeah, great. One day you'll be great. But not now. So I go home, I get a call. And the call says, Caliph, we'd like to, actually I was at work when this happened, it was amazing. And they said, we'd like to hire you as the contract lobbyist. So I'm jumping up and down in my office, I'm all excited, and then I realized, whoa, I've got a decision to make. Question, how much does it pay? $4,500 a month was the base salary. At that time I was making 62. If you do the math, it's less. I said, oh. Okay, so I've got to take this contract, make less money. There's a risk there. If I don't make what I need to make, I will run out of money. I will be broke. I will move back with my dad. It will be a sad thing for me. But I thought to myself, but what could I create? Everybody say, I have thumbs. I have a mind. Why? Why? No, that was for me only. Why? Because we were born to create. The difference between us and every other animal on earth is that we can create, we can manipulate, we can build things. But it's not just our hands, it's our minds. It's thinking about what is it that I can do that's special and unique to me, that step that I can offer the world, that if I create something, I can be of service to somebody. And so when I found out, or when I was in the interview and they kept asking me about why they should choose me over the other more experienced people in the room, and in fact, some of these people had been lobbying literally as long as I'd been alive. I was 30, they were 50, they'd been in since they were 20. I was a new guy. I said, it's because I'm passionate about it. I care about these issues. Public defenders, you guys are my people. I work for you in law school, I care about your clients, everything that you do, I want to be of assistance. And so that got them. And ultimately, it was my passion that gave me the opportunity to start my business. Everybody say, I have a passion.
I have a passion.
You have a passion too. And in the end, living a life of passion is a happy and fulfilled life. And you don't go into entrepreneurship for the money. It's not about the money. I thought it was about the money. I tell everybody I'm not a business person, I'm not about money. Didn't realize entrepreneurship is actually about passion. Living your passion, finding what you're passionate about, and making that your entire life. So at this point, my passion had won. I was excited. I had this contract. I had to make a decision. Keep the job and get a raise, or take $4,500 and just hope I make it. But I had an idea. I said, what if I could represent only nonprofit organizations, only doing civil rights and criminal justice stuff, and serve only who I want to serve? Could I build a business doing that? I thought, yeah, I believe that. I had an idea, I took action, and then I cultivated belief. And so I said, I'll take the money, I'll leave my job. I bought a $400 computer, rented a $400 office, and I put on my little suit. And I got to work. And I started to pretend and believe that I could make this happen. In the next 6 months, I went from one client with $4,500 to 5 clients, $15,000 a month in income. I was making 35, yes, please clap. Yeah. Yes. I'm rolling. Yes. I love it. But now here's the interesting thing. It wasn't about the money. It had never been about the money. I went and knocked down clients because I said, there's a service that I want to provide. And that service is using what I've got. I've got connections, I've got experience, I've got a law degree, I've got my own experiences that inform my work, and I said, that's what this is about. And so when I went to Children's Defense Fund and the California Endowment and the Sustainable Economies Law Center and Children Now and all these other people, I said, it's about the service. I have access to people that you don't have access to. I have a know-how, and I've got the passion to serve you. So suddenly, I'm going from broke to a business owner to making like more than my corporate law friends who went to law school to make money. And the whole time, I'm like, who are my clients? Black and brown kids that I get to serve and I get to help with my business. And I was like, this is amazing. So suddenly, this non-business owner, non-entrepreneur guy who doesn't like to talk about money is serving something, doing something I'm passionate about, and making an income I never thought I could have. So in the end, entrepreneurship is truly about your passion and your service, but also it's about freedom. I now control my own destiny. There is, amen. I now control my own destiny. And it's not that, again, it's not my financial destiny, it's that what I do with my time, who I decide to serve, I get to decide that all the time. Nobody controls me, I control me, and it's free. And every time I have an idea of how to serve somebody better, I can do that. You know, I came up with something recently, and there's some kids in the room, and Adam, I'm sorry, but...
It heard worse.
Okay, good. I thought to myself one day, I said, God, you know what, I am a badass, truly. And now, why did I come up with that? IABA, idea, action, belief, and more action. That's what an entrepreneur is. It's somebody who has an idea and takes action on that idea and cultivates belief and then takes more action to make that dream come true. So I want you all to say with me, because that wasn't about me, that was about all of you. Anybody who can be an IABA can say, I am a, everybody cuss, badass. Awesome. So, you know, the best thing about this journey, though, hasn't been that I started making money. It was about the ability to create something. And I thought, if I could create a lobbying firm, what else could I do? Because this is nice, but if I had a magic wand, I wouldn't be a lobbyist. I would do something different. I would be these guys that I'm watching that motivated me to be here. I would be a motivational speaker, and I would be a coach. And then guess what? Idea, action, belief, and more action. Now this is what I do. I get paid to speak, I get paid to coach, and I still lobby. Because I'm free to do what it is that I want with my time. If I want to go home and work on some speaking stuff, I'll do that. If I need to lobby, I'll do that. It's all about the freedom. So I don't care how much I make doing this. I can make less money than I had before doing it. But with freedom comes fulfillment. Every time I do something, I like to do it. I'm never doing something that I don't want to do because I'm doing what I'm passionate about. And I know the end goal is that I'm serving somebody. So the greatest thing about this journey has been the person that I become. And ultimately, above all those other things, when you create a business and you're building a business, what you're really building is yourself. Because when it comes down to it, when everything's on you, you change. You step up, you get better. You take more responsibility, you take more action. You ask more of yourself. Entrepreneurship is an exercise in personal development. It's about taking risks, finding that faith and belief in yourself, and saying, I've got something special to give, and nothing will stop me from giving it. So, last thing. Whatever ideas you have that you haven't acted on, if you're thinking about whether you should start a business, I don't want you to think about whether or not you'll be successful. I don't want you to think about whether or not you'll make money. I want you to think about who's waiting for you to do what it is that you said you would do, that you know you should do. Who's waiting on you to provide that service that you're meant to provide? somewhere out there, there's somebody who needs your product. Somewhere out there, there's somebody that needs your service. And most businesses start with nothing. Most businesses start as service-based business, asking for money for your time, money for your business. Sometimes it's products. But either way, there's no business that's ever been created and been successful that wasn't serving at a very high level. So the question I want to leave you with isn't about money, freedom, or passion. It's what's your life's service? And can you meet that service through a job, or do you need to do your own thing? Build yourself up and become the best person that you could be in the process.
Nice. He's a friend of mine.
Me too. I do too. Back here, tears in my eyes.
That was really